and I know that I can win this. We start the final lap of the F2 2020 Bahrain sprint race. Into the first corner as late as possible onto the brakes. We do exactly the same to Dragovic that we did to Callum Ilott earlier. We go later to the brakes, actually almost hit him in the rear diffuser. Now we are right behind him, open up DRS as we head up the hill. Will we go for a dive bomb like we did with Ilott? We stick to the outside and we dummy to the inside. Beautiful move to the inside, but we actually mount the curve. We are too quickly on the power. We have to come off the power. Dragovic goes for the switchback of dreams into the middle.
We've reversed the top 8 from yesterday's race to set the grid for the sprint race here today, and the drivers are almost ready on the grid down below. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Hello guys, SLR Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, quickly, if you haven't watched yesterday's episode, literally the previous video, click off now and go watch that first. Otherwise, you are going to be lost with what's currently going on. Guys, we're back for the sprint race after yesterday's F2 feature race. The top 8 have been reversed. You guys saw the top 8 grid sequence that I edited in myself as Davide Valsecchi and Alex Jakes were busy talking, the two commentators, but now we are ready for the sprint race. I hope you guys are ready. Drop a like down below on the video to show your love as we head to 5 red lights. And it's go, go, go for the sprint race here for the Bahrain F2 weekend. I almost said Bahrain Grand Prix, but I didn't. Heading into the first corner, my teammate Felipe Dragovic is keeping the lead, and right behind him it is Callum Ilott and Jack Aitken squabbling over P2. But it is actually Aitken on the inside, but Ilott has got the outside for the second corner. Heading up the hill, Dragovic has already got a solid lead there. Ilott gets a P2 for Univirtuosi with Aitken and P3 for Campos. Then you've got Armstrong, myself and P6. And for those of you guys that didn't click away, that hasn't watched yesterday's video, we are driving as Nobuharu Matsushita in the second MP Motorsport car. And guys, just like yesterday, we have an absolutely terrible launch coming off of the line. And heading into the first corner, I get passed by Tictum and Markelov. But diving it very harshly into the first corner, Tictum actually leaves the door wide open. A little bit of contact between Armstrong and Schwartzman there as they pinch me. But Schwartzman actually yanks away from Armstrong there, opening up the door for myself to get myself up into P6. And now, well, actually that's P5, not P6, P5. So we are ahead of Robert Schwartzman, who we had a fantastic battle in yesterday's feature race for the final podium position. Guys, seriously, if you haven't checked out yesterday's video, you are losing out. Go check it out because it was a fantastic race. Up the inside of Marcus Armstrong, heading into the hairpin, and what a beautiful move there as we catch Armstrong napping in the middle of the middle sector. Yeah, in the middle of the middle sector. In the middle of the second sector would have been the smarter thing to say, but you know what? It's all nice and Dante. Guys, quickly a little explanation as we end the first lap. This is an F2 championship that I'll be doing. It's not like the F2 2020 championship mode in the game. I went into Grand Prix mode and I made my own calendar of 15 locations, 30 races in total, because remember F2 has got 2 races per weekend, 30 40 races are awaiting you guys, plus 110 AI, so max AI, with a championship driving as my favorite current F2 driver, Nobuharu Matsushita, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. We started P6, we are now up into P4, and now going to try and chase after Jack Aitken. For those of you guys that don't know how F2 works, go check out yesterday's video because I do explain it at like the end of the video, plus minus how F2 works. But here you guys can see Marcus Armstrong is trying to come back at me, heading into the first quarter. He takes the inside line. I brake a little later than Armstrong to keep the outside line, get the car turned in. I pinch Armstrong to the curb, and there's nothing he can do. But now no DRS just yet. It's not yet lap 3. Heading up the hill, will Armstrong try and go for another move to take back P4 from myself, driving as Matsushita? No, he does not. He decides against it, and now the race has settled down. We can focus on Jack Aitken in the Campos car ahead of us. We jump on to the end of the beginning of lap 4, and as you can see, we're already very close to Jack. Into this next quarter, Jack defends really nicely there. I actually thought he was going to go a little bit more defensive than he did, but he still shuts the door in my face. Well, he keeps the door shut. Now heading into the second sector, you can see I'm literally underneath the diffuser of Jack Aitken, and here we go into this quarter where I passed Armstrong on the first lap, head to the hairpin, beautiful move up the inside, no contact whatsoever, and we take the podium position away from Jack Aitken. And guys, at this stage of the race, I could actually see that I had some fairly decent pace. Also, just a quick thing for those of you guys that don't know how F2 works, I'm just going to give a little description. As you guys watch Jay and Daruvula fight with Nikita Mazepin, F2's got 2 races per weekend. You've got a feature race where there is a prescribed pit stop. You have to pit stop and use both compounds of tires. In F2, you only got a soft and a hard tire, not like 3 different tire compounds. It's either a soft and a medium. Sorry guys, that was me just setting the fastest lap. I heard Jeff there quickly, but we set the fastest lap as we nearly ran into the back of Callum Eilert, but that was intended. We wanted to see how deep we can go into the corner to put Eilert under pressure. He doesn't have the best exit coming out of the second and third corner. We have DRS on this little back straight. Here we go. Callum Eilert on the... Oh, he actually doesn't go inside. We actually absolutely lunged to the inside, latest of the late breakers, and that is a beautiful move for P2. It is now MP Motorsport 1 and 2 here for the sprint race in Bahrain. But guys, quickly, let's just, while you guys watch the replay, like I said, in F2 there's a feature race and a sprint race. 2 tire compounds. It's usually a soft and a medium, a soft and a hard, or a medium and a hard. Some tracks have got super soft tires and like a soft or a super soft and a medium, but you guys get the point. There's a soft tire and a hard tire, and the soft tire is usually like the second a lap quicker than the hards, and the soft tires usually don't last more than like 8 laps, and they're literally like overshooting it. Now in the feature race you have to make a pit stop and use both tire compounds. The sprint race, which you guys are currently watching, you start on the hard side and you push through to the end. You can make a pit stop if you want to, if you feel that you can actually make the time back. But if you can't, because the race is also shorter than the feature race, you stay out and you run those tires to the end, praying that they hold on. F2 is also
sat in P2. Felipe is ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 1.9 seconds. They're on old hards. Eilert is behind you. Less than a second separate you. They're on old hards. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. There are 10 laps to go.
Thank you, Jeff. Guys, also F2 cars are a lot more reliant on their tires. Due to them having a lot less downforce, they use their tires a lot more. So the tires in certain situations takes more pounding than usual. As you guys see there, that is Jack Aitken out of this race. That is Jack Aitken. As nearly Marcus Armstrong took off his own front wing trying to avoid Jack Aitken, but his car broke on the apex, which is a little bit sad. But yeah, guys, like literally, F2 is fantastic, and with all the cars being identical, it's not like F1 where there's different teams and some cars are faster than others. All 22 of these cars are identical, so it's literally about the driver and how you tune your car. But guys, let's get back to the racing action. It's a little bit of a description how F2 works. If you guys want me to make a video on its own about literally how F2 works, like not all the rules, but the most important rules, how the point system works, because the point system is different to Formula 1, and all these crazy things, let me know in the comments down below, and I will make a video about that where I explain all the rules. Okay, guys, we are now ending lap 15. Dragovic goes faster with the 141.2.
He's just set the fastest lap of the race.
Okay, I saw that, Jeff. Thank you very much. And on the very next lap, we have now gone purple first sector, green second sector. We just missed out on setting our own personal best the previous lap. But you guys can see, between myself and my teammate Dragovic, we are chasing this. We really want to win this race. We want to take a 1-2 for Indy Motorsport.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Thank you, Jeff. We take the fastest lap, and that means that we are catching Felipe Dragovic. And guys, as you guys can see, my left front is screaming in agony already at 40% wear. We go purple middle sector, and now heading onto this back straight. I'm going to try and hunt down Dragovic as best as I possibly can with these last final remaining laps. I really have to push, guys. I know you guys haven't seen a lot of the beginning of the race because not a lot happened, but it's at this stage of the race where things really started to heat up.
Just focus on the driving.
Okay, thank you guys. Sorry I talked over Jeff there. That's just a little bit of my fault. But we now come across the line. We are less than half a tenth slower on our fastest lap. So we are captain consistency at this stage. And I need to keep banging in these quick laps to make sure that I catch up to Dragovic. And if he sets a fastest lap, I need to make sure that I better that fastest lap. But literally, guys, I was trying to be as consistent as humanly possible. What the hell is Nikita Mazepin doing? Guys, okay, Mazepin, just like Verstappen in our Baku Grand Prix, he just bounces his car over the curb, but I think his car broke before that, and he was just trying to get out of the way. We come to the end of lap 19. Dragovic 1.3 seconds ahead of myself. The gap is coming down. Purple first sector, green middle sector. Another fastest lap to ourselves.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race.
Thank you, Jeff. We keep going quicker and quicker and quicker, and every lap we get a little bit closer to Dragovic, but guys, he's still pushing flat out. I'm only about 1 to 2 tenths a lap quicker than him. He's still actually matching me, well, close to matching me, so I can't let off the throttle. If I make one mistake, it costs me half a second, so I need to stay on Dragovic and keep the pressure on as much as humanly possible. And we now start the fourth to last lap here. It's lap 20 of 23, and now we really need to chase down Dragovic. But you guys can see the first and third sector, the first and second sector, I've got Dragovic. But I have to be honest, guys, sector 3, Dragovic is just absolutely schooling me in both the traction zones at the penultimate and final corner. You guys can see here, heading through this very, very hard downhill braking zone, we actually lose DRS because coming out of the second sector hairpin, I couldn't get the traction down as good as Dragovic. So clearly Dragovic is struggling with front tires, I'm struggling with rear tires, because actually the corners that you have a lot of, that you need a lot of rear grip, he's got the advantage. The corners where you need the car to turn in and have front grip, like these quick corners, I've got the grip advantage. You guys see second sector, we go purple, and the gap is hovering with a second. I'm so close to DRS range, but I just can't seem to get onto the back of Dragovic. And we've only got, as we're now going around the final corner, we've literally got 3 laps to go, and stuff is getting intense. That left front is crying in agony, just saying, come on, can we please finish this race? I don't know how much longer I'm going to hold on to. And guys, unlike the F1 tires, the F2 tires, when they die, they properly die. Like over 50%, these tires are absolutely useless. So I was literally threading the needle here, and because I was almost pushing this entire race, I knew that my tires, when they went off, they were going to go off quicker than Dragovic. But while I had the grip, I had to push as hard as I possibly could. You guys can see it's 9 tenths of a second. We don't have DRS because we crossed the DRS detection line out of 1 second. But now you guys can see into the second sector, I am very close to Dragovic. The gap is down to 8 tenths of a second. Into the second sector, we go purple first sector by 14 1,000ths of a second quicker. We went green middle sector. Now let's see what Dragovic can do. Will he go fastest lap? And yes, he does, but we better the fastest lap.
That's the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Felipe is ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 0.9 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 21 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:40.6. We're gaining by around 2 tenths per lap.
You guys heard it from the mouth of the horse. We are only catching 2 tenths per lap, but we are now within 1 second. There's 1 and 2/3 of the way to go, and we are still behind our teammate Felipe Dragovic. It has to happen this lap or the next lap. But guys, literally, the 2 MP Motorsport cars are literally taking it to the line for this Sakia sprint race win. It is intense. It's hot. But let's get this going into the end of the second. almost the end of the second sector, into the downhill hairpin. You guys can see I take all the liberties possible with that inside curve, open up DRS, and you guys can see as we jump on board with Felipe Dragovic, my teammate, I think the MP Motorsport guys are going insane in the garage as they see both their drivers coming home in first and second place. Even though this is the sprint race where there's less points than the feature race, I think the combination of 2 points for fastest lap as well as the total of 15 and 12 points for our positions, it's going to be a very nice tally of points as the race ends for the Constructors' Championship. You guys can see that I'm pushing so hard out of that previous corner. I even went wide. I'm trying everything in my power, everything that this little MP Motorsport car has left. I am putting to the floor because I want this win. I started P6 and I have had the measure over everybody else in this race, and I know that I can win this. We start the final lap of the F2 2020 Bahrain sprint race into the first corner as late as possible onto the brakes. We do exactly the same to Dragovic that we did to Callum Ilott earlier. We go later to the brakes, actually almost hit him in the rear diffuser. Now we are right behind him, open up DRS as we head up the hill. Will we go for a dive bomb like we did with Ilott? We stick to the outside and we dummy to the inside. Beautiful move to the inside, but we actually mount the curve. We are too quickly on the power. We have to come off the power. Dragovic goes for the switchback of dreams into the middle sector. We are side by side. Teammates very close. I actually have to mount the inside curve. The curve bounces me. No. Dragovic just passed me again into the hairpin, later to the brakes. Come on, get the car tuned in, but the car is just understeering everywhere. Onto the curve, the rear edge snaps. Dragovic is back on my outside into the next corner. Oh no! There's a locker from Dragovic. No! Into the next corner. I actually have to avoid cutting the corner there, but Dragovic completely went off track. What happened there? Okay, so much happened in that little sequence. Okay, let me calm down. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh boy. Okay guys, heading up the hill, we open up DRS. I go to the outside and dummy to the inside. We go for the dive, but I am too quick on my turn in and I bounce the car over the curb. That throws the car into a bit of an understeer moment and I put the power down too early, which forces me onto the outside. I had to come off the power, which enabled Dragovic to get back alongside me. Then I am forced over that inside curb, which bounces me to the outside. Me and Dragovic actually banged the tires on the exit of that S section. I go up the inside of the hairpin, get onto the curb, the tires just spin themselves up, and heading into this next section, Dragovic just cracks under the pressure and he locks up. He goes straight on and I actually barely make the corner. I had to get out of my turn in because I would have cut the corner. That is the most intense side-by-side battle I think I've ever had in any F1 game. And now you guys can understand why I absolutely adore these F2 cars, because you get action like this all the freaking time. Look at this again, one more time. Right behind Dragovic, I go for the latest dive bomb I think I've ever made. Up the inside, I bounce over the curb, and you guys can see that Dragovic sees that I can't keep the car on the track. He does the switchback. Heading into this next section, we actually don't touch here, but because I'm on the outside, I'm forced to that inside curb. It bounces my car to the outside again. There we touch. Dragovic comes back on my inside, but he's on the outside for the hairpin. We go up the inside, get onto the curb. The car just spins its rear wheels. Dragovic comes back on my outside, and he brakes just that teeny tiny bit too late, and he locks up the left front and eventually the right front, and he's just off track. And because he's scared of rejoining dangerously onto the racing line, he actually has to concede a position to Callum Ilott. So the dream 1-2 for MP Motorsport has gone down the drain with us two fighting. But guys, that has probably been the fight of the F1 2020, the gaming life on my YouTube channel. That has been the fight, the most intense side-by-side battle that on this game yet. What a battle. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sad that it's not gonna be a 1-2. But guys, from P6 on the grid all the way to the lead, and we're gonna bank fastest lap, 17 points in our back pocket as we finish the event here in Bahrain.
Great job, you've done everything we wanted today.
And that brings to an end another great race. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
It was down to one thing: consistent pace over everyone else out there on the track. We could spend a great deal of time talking about race and tire strategy, what has occurred on the track, but at the end of the day, the difference here was down to simply being faster on track than everyone else. Amazing skill on show.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the MP Motorsport team, and I'm very happy to see them up there on the top step of the podium. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Nobuharu Matsushita is my favorite one. Today was amazing. He made so many overtakes.
And after all that excitement, I think it's time for a lie down. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
I am absolutely speechless. Guys, what a race. Like, once again, guys, I don't even have to apologize to Dragovic. He locked up and went off track himself. I didn't even make contact with him. He made contact with me. Oh my word, guys, that's how the points are classified for this weekend. Artem Makarov got the 4 points for qualifying on pole position for the feature race. Feature race results are like normal F1 results at the end of the race, except fastest lap gets you 2 extra points. Guys, look at me up top. I've got 4 points for fastest lap, meaning I got the fastest lap in both races, the feature race and the sprint race. We took 3rd place in the feature race, banking ourselves 15 points, and 1st place in the sprint race also gives you 15 points. So we take home a total of 34 points, and we actually outscore the man who qualified on pole position for the feature race as well as won the feature race. That is how crazy F2 can get. Just because you win the feature race does not mean your weekend is done and dusted. You can sit back and relax. Guys, what an absolute slobber knocker of a sprint race. And guys, please show your support for this F2 series. Drop a like down below on the video right now. It's only gonna take you 2 seconds to show your love, because this is the action you guys are gonna see for 28 races still to come. And yes, 28 races, 14 rounds left. It's gonna be spectacular. 110 AI, 100% feature race, 100% sprint race. It's time to let the action sink in. Guys, please go check out the links in the description down below. Follow me on social media. Please share this video with your friends, tag me in the post or the story, and I will give you a shout out in a future video, as well as on my own personal social medias. More than that, please go check out me and iiTzAssassins' 2nd YouTube channel. Go subscribe there. It's not a racing channel, a lot different content than this, but just as fun, in some cases a little bit funner, but a little bit more fun. Okay, I don't know, my English is terrible today. It is all nice and dandy. And guys, if this is your first time feasting your eyes on TurboFox Racers, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode here. Awesome episodes like this. F1 2020 My Team, F1 2020 Career Mode, F2 2020. Freaking, it is all crazy here on TurboFox Racers. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I'll see you guys with the next video, whatever it may be. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. And please, show the like, show the love, comment down below. And I'll see y'all next time. Cheers!